These are T-posts, and so are these. And this red thing here is a T-post puller that you use to pull those out of the ground. And boy, do I have a story for you. So as usual, I'm having problems with the EPA again. You know, it's never ending with these people. So this time, they want me to renew their imaginary permit that provides me nothing. Basically all it is a permit that I pay $100 a year for them to come critique me on how my water drains off my property. That's basically all it is. They say you need it to build, but you don't. To build, you only need a building permit and, you know, a septic permit, oil permit, which I already have those things. But the EPA insists that I need a sedimentation control permit, which is through them, managed by them, give them an extra $100, basically. And part of the course, if you don't do what they ask, they threaten fines, big fines. So they notified me, I think it was November 1st or so, that, no, it was October 1st, because the permit was due November 1st. Well, in October, I reached out to them asking, you know, how do we get rid of this? Like, I'm not even going to build anymore. The property is empty. There's nothing wrong, you know, nothing going on. Everything's at a permanent state. How do we cancel this permit? No reply. So I thought, well, if you're not going to worry about it, I'm not going to worry about it, you know? So the permit came due November 1st, and I got a nasty little email saying that if I didn't renew it or do something about it, they were going to fine me. Okay, cool. So I emailed them again. Hey, don't need this permit. Don't know what to do to cancel it. Help me out here. Finally get a reply. The guy tells me that I need to contact my local inspector, the guy who constantly, comes after me about, oh, you need to do this, you need to do that. So, okay, cool. So I got a hold of him, and I told him, you know, I'm not building anything. The property is empty. Grass is grown on it. It's permanent. There's no more need for this permit. So what do we need to do to cancel it? He says that I just need to go take the silt fence down. He will do an inspection, and we should be able to close it. I'm thinking, easy as pie. No big deal. I go down and I take about a fourth of the silt fence down. And I realize it's kind of a hard job. So the guy comes and does his inspection. Obviously the silt fence hasn't been taken down yet. But he lets me know that, you know, not only do you need to take the silt fence down, you also need to pull up the T-posts. The T-posts are what the silt fence clings to keep it standing. And I'm thinking, oh, that's going to be fun. Basically, this whole process took 2 to 3 weeks to get to where we are at this point in the conversation. And he basically said, you got to get all the posts pulled up and all the silt fence taken down by December 1st. And the potential fine for not getting it done by December 1st is $25,000, which is a joke to me because you're not getting $25,000 if you tried. But anyway, so I go down and I'm trying to figure out, like, you know, what's the best way to do this? The posts are pretty good in the ground. They're not something you can just pull up by hand. And so I find the T-post puller, which is, you know, I showed you the picture of. Or it was in the video. Anyway, so I ordered the T-post puller, and I thought, this is going to be hard. And I thought, you know, I could do it myself, or I might could try to find someone that would do it for me. Who knows? So, I contact the contractor that was going to build the house for me. Now, I'm not going to blast his name, but you probably already know it. Who knows? Anyway, I basically told him, this is what the EPA wants. This is what I need done. I want both the silt fence and the post taken down. He gave me an estimate of $600 to $800. And I'm thinking, all right, like that, I guess it makes sense. If you consider he probably makes somewhere around $100 an hour, sure, he could probably get it done in about 4 hours or so. But whatever, it's easier for me because I had things going on. I had friends coming in from Maine. I was trying to go, on vacation with them and kind of hang out with them for a little while. So I didn't really have time to do it myself. So I thought, whatever. I told the guy, I can do 600 if you can make it happen. Whatever you need to do. If you need to leave stuff laying on the property to make it cheaper, then do it. I'll pick it up afterward. Not a big deal. So he agrees, I agree, off we go. I go on vacation with my friends, and I'm set to come back November 30th, which is the day before December 1st. Had to be done by that day. Well, I come home and I'm like, you know what? I should probably go check just to make sure everything's good. Take some pictures and send it off to EPA, and we'll be good. I get there and all the silt fence is taken down. It's piled up in a pile because, the deal was he would leave it to make it cheaper for me. But none of the posts are taken down. None. And I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. What the heck? So I then had to remove the posts. I was not happy. I texted the guy. I told him, we talked about this. You agreed to do the job, and now you've not done it. And now I'm going to have to do it because it has to be done today, or I'm going to get fined, or who knows what. It's got to be done today. Anyway, a little bit back and forth with that guy. He agreed. Don't pay him anything. So I figured, as long as we agree on that, I won't blast his name everywhere about what kind of bullcrap job he did. Anyway, luckily, I had already ordered the T-post puller. I texted my mom and asked her to bring it to me because I was going to have to do it myself. It wasn't extremely hard, just time consuming. In an hour, I had pulled half of them out, which was great. But I got to one that was very deeply sunk in the mud. I guess just, the mud had piled up around it. It was so far down in the ground. The T-post puller, I couldn't get it latched onto the post. So I had to try to go at it at an angle, which didn't work because these don't come out at an angle. They come out straight up and they won't go any other way. So I've got the thing latched to it. I'm cranking on it, trying to get it to come up, and it slips off and hits me right in the mouth. And all of my force and this big metal thing and all this just hits me, and it breaks one tooth and chips 3 more. And I was already pissed off. Now I'm in pain. Now I got issues. This is a bunch of bull crap. The sooner I get rid of this land, the better off I'm going to be. That's the way I see it right now. So I ended up going to the hospital. Obviously, hospitals don't do anything with teeth, so they gave me a shot of morphine and told me to go find an emergency dentist. I went to an emergency dentist that day, and they told me that they didn't want to do anything until the swelling had gone down and my mouth had healed. So they wanted me to wait a week. And I'm thinking, a week is kind of a long time, but if I have to, I guess I will. Who knows? Well, when I go to make the appointment 1 week out, the next available appointment they have is 2.5 weeks out. And I'm like, I'm not waiting 2.5 weeks. So I find another dentist in Charlotte for the next day. So we went to that dentist, and he filled all of the teeth. He said that it's really a temporary fix because the one that broke off, you can't just fill it and leave it. It doesn't work like that. It will break off because it's not strong enough to be filled. He said that I would eventually have to get it capped. I think that's what he called it. The problem is it broke it so far down, we don't know if it's going to need a root canal or not. The nerve is exposed. It's very sensitive to any kind of touch or anything. So he said it may need a root canal, or it could potentially heal itself back. The root could retract down, or whatever he called it. I don't know what he called it. Not the root, the nerve. And it would stop hurting and it would be fine. Or it would die and then I would have to get a root canal. So we knew that was going to end in a possible root canal, but he said, just to make it look good for now, he's going to fill it and make it look like a tooth. Don't bite down on anything with it because it probably will break off. But as we were working on it, he found that my top tooth, which had been chipped, cracked. And we don't know how far it cracked up in the gum. The x-ray doesn't show how far it cracked. He said that it may be fine. It may just be cracked here at the bottom and may be fine. Or it may be cracked all the way up and it will also need a root canal. This just keeps getting better. You can see they're kind of fixed. Kinda. The short one, he made it short on purpose, is the one that completely broke. And he said he was going to make it shorter so that I didn't try to bite down on anything with it. My other teeth would kind of kick in first. This one here is right next to the one that broke, and it has started hurting. And it's just an uncomfortable. It's not like, shooting pain, can't stand it kind of thing, but it's just uncomfortable. And so I don't know if maybe there's just too much feeling that's pushing it to make it, move, or if maybe I've damaged the nerve in it too, and now I'm going to have another root canal. I don't know. At this point, what we know for sure is that I could end up having no root canals, 1 or 2. But if this is related, this slight tooth pain that I've got going on, then it could possibly be 3. This is going to be fun, guys. This is real fun. At least they look good. That was kind of the point, to make them look good again. But they're not usable. Especially with this one that's cracked. I don't want to try to bite down on anything with it because it could hurt it more and it could further crack it, and then it could mean that I do need the root canal. Same with the bottom one. I don't want to try to chance it too much. It has stopped hurting. Touching it doesn't hurt. Oh, hush. Sweets don't hurt it. Hot foods don't hurt it. Cold does make it very sensitive. But that's, it goes away. It's not a big deal. So yeah, that's great. After I got my teeth fixed on Friday, my dad went with me on Saturday to try to pull out the rest of the posts. And I told him, I'm not going to pull anything. You pull them, I'll load them on the truck. So we got all of them out except for the one that I got hurt on. And he also couldn't get it out. And his idea was to hook a rope to the truck and pull it out. And that did not work either. The rope ended up breaking, and it came up and hit my truck. And I was like, okay, we're not doing that again. But that little bit of tugging that the truck did helped to lift it up some so that we could get the puller on it, and then he pulled it out the rest of the way. So we did get them all done. I have emailed the guy at the EPA. I haven't heard from him yet, so I might try to call him today because this has got to be done. Like, I'm just tired of dealing with it. They just need to go ahead and finish this out and be done. And now I have permanent damage to my mouth and can't really bite into anything. Everything I eat, I have to cut it up in little pieces and put it to the back of my mouth so that I can chew it. And this is great. I love this land. I'm so glad I bought it. Potential future fixes for the teeth are, he wants to wait a month to see if any of them end up needing that root canal. He said we should know within a month if they're going to need it. They're either going to hurt bad or they're going to turn black. That's the main giveaways to know if it needs it or not. He said that if we end up not needing the root canal, what we'll end up doing is grinding this one down that he put the filling on that broke, and put a cap on it, I think is what he said. I was under the impression that a cap is a little metal tooth and it looks like shiny metal, and I didn't want that. Apparently that's not the case. It looks like a real tooth, it's just not real. And you can bite down on it, so that's cool. But we don't know about the top one. We're just kind of playing it by ear to see if it dies. If it does, we'll have to do the root canal. He said that we may end up capping it as well, just because, you know, a cracked tooth is not useful. So, yeah, that's my story. And that's, you know, it happens, life happens, and I hate it, but there's really nothing you can do about it. Just kind of go with it and try to figure it out. So, luckily, the dentist that I seen on Friday is a family member, and he did not charge me a dime, which I am extremely shocked about. The emergency dentist wanted me to prepay for the procedure before she would even schedule the appointment, and it was $750. So now that I'm not going to her, I'm actually going to get my money back. I'm not going to pay $750 for that because I don't need to. So I need to get that sorted out as well. So yeah. As far as like what all happened, let me speed the car up here a little bit because I'm blocking somebody. It hit my lip. You can see a little thing there, a scar. It has created this huge bump on the inside, which was completely white. If you're grossed out by this, you might skip this. It was completely white, so I guess it's getting better. I am taking antibiotics. I have been prescribed painkillers, but I'm not taking them. I don't feel like I need them. It's not that bad, and I'm not gonna, I don't want to be like a pillhead, you know, so anyway, as of right now, you know, the one that completely broke off doesn't hurt at all. The top one doesn't hurt at all. I get some discomfort out of that one next to it, which did chip, by the way, so he fixed the chip. I kind of feel like there's just too much filling on it, and it's like pushing it and making it uncomfortable. Which is something that can be fixed. But I was kind of waiting to see if maybe, you know, once things completely heal up, maybe it would stop hurting. Don't know. But at this point, I need to wait until January to kind of see, you know, are we going to need any kind of root canals, or should we just go ahead and cap this one, or whatever. Big pain in the neck. And I haven't even unloaded my truck yet because when it happened, I ended up having to leave my truck there that night. I couldn't drive home because of the medicine they gave me. So yeah, it's just been a nightmare. So yeah, I guess I'll go try to call the EPA because I need to get that done. So, and I decided to drive the Model Y today because why not?